Yeah, I be watching, your Instagram, so I noticed you be saying like you lonely and all this kind of shit. So, what is the problem with you like finding somebody?
All right, so the truth of the matter is, I was in a 17-year marriage.
Ooh,
Yeah.
damn.
And I don't have anything bad to say about my ex. It just all boiled down to compatibility. My ambitions did not match his ambitions, and so we amicably decided to part ways, and that's pretty much the end of that story. However, um, man, it's just after being with somebody for 17 years, it is hard to go back from having that help me, regardless of the other things. And people are like, oh, you should have worked it out, you should have worked it out. But here's the reason why I felt like it was better to just kind of go on to a new chapter. I didn't want to wake up when I was 85 years old and be like, damn, I regret not trying XYZ. Because I wasn't going to be able to try it comfortably within the confines of the relationship because he did not want that for me. And it was a big problem even when I tried to bring him into the media realm, like, hey, you can come with me. Like he was knocking the vibes off. Like it just wasn't his world.
Yeah.
So, when he would go places with me, he'd be mean mugging people, and then people would look at him standing behind me mean mugging, and they wouldn't approach me, and I'm like, you're really throwing this whole
He
shit
was
in
jealous?
my-
Actually, some people normally look mean. People say that about me.
Yeah, he definitely had like I guess you call it a male version of the resting bitch face, and I don't think he really meant to be like that. But he was unapproachable. So if he was with me and he was unapproachable, that made me unapproachable. And you can't be like that when you're networking and going to events and interviewing and stuff like that. It defeats the whole purpose, So because I did not foresee myself stopping doing what I have always dreamed of doing since I was a little girl, which is being in media, I decided, like I said, we decided to amicably part ways, but it still doesn't make it any less harder because now I wasn't having to worry about bills and stuff like that. Now I gotta worry about bills and try to travel and try to network. So I did make it a little bit harder on myself, but I freed myself up from hurting him, disrespecting our bond and doing it anyway against his wishes. You know what I'm saying? So
it's like you gotta make it now.
I know, like
right?
my back is against the wall,
Yeah.
Or it was all for nothing,
Yeah.
or it was all for nothing. Yeah, absolutely right.
That shit is
That's
crazy.
the reality of it. Yeah.
So when y'all got together, you didn't mention this before the marriage?
So
when did y'all get married? How old were you when y'all married?
23 something, 23, 24. We got married in 2004, and we broke up last year, December of last year. And let's just say my ambitions were already, I had a foundation for my current ambitions, but it was when we finally got out of Ohio and away from family where the comfort zone was and we had to make it on our own, that I started trying other things that I probably would not have tried while I was there. Because if I would have stayed in Ohio was a textile motor vehicle city. I would have ended up getting a job at somewhere like GM and been a 9-to-5 fucking factory worker for the rest of my life. And I knew that I was different. I always been a big dreamer because I traveled the world. I've seen a lot of stuff with my aunt, who allowed me to travel with her when she was in the Navy. I've been to Dover, Delaware, Escondido, California, all over the United States as a young girl. I've seen so much stuff that I could not allow myself to just be a 9-to-5 worker. And no disrespect to those who work 9-to-5s, because I kind of have to work one too for now. But that's not, retirement is not the goal for me. Like